I think even my teammates, all my teammates, weren't able to show all their strengths. That's just the college life. You buy into whatever college you go to. You do whatever you got to do to help the team. I think not even speaking for myself, but all my teammates were going to be able to show a lot more than that at the next level. Spacing on the floor, the fact that it's the NBA, it's not no zone like how we are playing against basically in college. So there's more space on the court. Wendell Carter Jr. talking about his playing time at Duke, and we've got a Dookie sitting right here with us. Jay Will, you played for Coach K for 3 years. What's your reaction to his comments?
He's right. I mean, he's right. The game you play in college is completely different than the game you play in the league. He wasn't getting 10 to 15 touches every night. You know why? Because he had projected potentially the best player in the draft on his team, and Marvin Bagley, who reclassified. Marvin Bagley should be a senior in high school right now.
Yeah. And he was the
That's
ACC
scary.
Player of the Year.
So now you have to share time with a guy like Marvin Bagley. Yes, players, you have to fit into the culture of what Coach K would like. It may not put you in the best scenario to showcase your NBA skill set, but he's trying to put you in the best scenario to showcase how you win a championship on a collegiate level.
It's also a function of how, perhaps particularly at Duke and Kentucky, they're getting all these kids in there who are so good for 1 year at a time. So they don't even really have time to figure out, well, that's going to be your role, this is going to be my role. They're doing it all on the fly. There's a genius to it in the coaching, obviously. But, I mean, at Duke this year, how are all of those kids going to possibly – there's no way all of them can maximize what they can be because they have 4 of the top 10 players in the country coming in. They're probably all going to stay just for 1 year.
And they dealt with different issues because when you play Marvin Bagley and Wendell Carter together, they were really bad defensively because you had the guard pick and rolls.
But the thing is, and Jalen, the league sees that, right? So they know who's really good and who's not.
Of course.
How much these guys do in college, how much does that actually impact where they wind up getting drafted? Because they're going to look at the measurables and they're going to say, this guy projects to be X, Y, and Z regardless of what his role was in college, right?
It has a big-time impact, Greeny. And on one hand, he's stating the obvious, that the college game is different. You won't get as many touches because you have so many top-flight players when you go to a college like Duke, as well as the rules are different, for example, as he alluded to, playing zone. On the other hand, he's talking about something that's a level of sacrifice. And we had to do it as a member of the Fab Five. When you come together, you suppress your ideas of me and you sacrifice for we. And what I basically hear is he somewhat has regrets on going to a school that has multiple All-Americans where he has to share opportunity, has to share possession, has to share minutes. And so this is interesting because, as you alluded to, Greeny, you have so many top-flight kids going to Duke and so many going to Kentucky. You might see more kids start saying, instead of going to those schools, I may go somewhere else where I can be the guy. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
These kids are looking at schools right now, like Jalen alluded to, as free agency. I want to go somewhere where I'm going to play X amount of minutes and I can put myself in the best position to get to the draft. When Wendell Carter went to Duke, that's what he was going there for.
Yeah.
And then a couple months later, Marvin Bagley reclassified, and there went that.
And he was a tick away from going to Harvard, too. That is one thing that I wonder if he went back, he would make a different decision.